Hi guys, Billy back, and this time we're going to be looking at Hunter's Day After World War III, The Boy by Blitzway and Bheadworks. And this took a little while to get here, and you're going to have to forgive me because every so often I'm going to have to be tapping the top of my head. Checking, because I got scalped. Sometimes when you really want something, you've got to pay for it, and I had to actually sell a boatload of other figures in order to get this guy. So yeah, I had to say goodbye to Tiger Stripe, Wolverine, the Mezco one, but it pulled in a lot of money. People on eBay went nuts for it, so I was able to afford this guy. But this is not from any sort of IP or license. This is an original design by Bheadworks, and Blitzway took it on, tweaked it, and made a mass-produced figure out of it. It's very rare I do buy a figure that is not from another license or IP, such as Marvel, Star Wars, that kind of thing. But I absolutely love the designs that Bheadworks came up with. They're a custom figure maker, and they usually just run a few batches of them. But Blitzway obviously saw the talent and said, hey, we want to produce some original figures to be released to mass market. However, even though they are released to mass market, they do seem to still be quite rare, especially in the West. So I was really happy that this came up and I was able to bid on it. So let's quickly have a look at what we get. Okay, looking at the front of the design, we can see it's got this really nice logo for Hunter's Day After World War III. Basically the 1/6 Ultimate Masterpiece series by Blitzway, The Boy, Blitzway and Bheadworks logo. And I really love that dirty, grungy sort of artwork style they've got there. Now, I did get this from Asia. It did get shipped over. It took a while. And the box is not the best. So either this is second hand or it's been stored in a warehouse somewhere. So hopefully I've actually got a decent figure. Okay, turn it to the side, we can just see the boy, and there is a picture of the figure there with some nice sort of embers floating around, looking like he's just come out of some sort of burning wreck or something. And on the back we've got the logo, the creators and all your warnings with that side picture stretched onto the back. Hunter's logo there, another piece of artwork from Bhead there, just faintly in the background. On the top, just the Hunter's logo, and nothing on the bottom except for the Blitzway logo. Okay, let's open it up. Trying to keep out of the way here, you don't need to see my ugly mug as we do this. We need to pull it open, but I really have been enjoying the way Blitzway have packaged these. They've made them feel pretty premium and pretty special, especially with the polystyrene casing on the inside. They make it feel like a custom expensive statue. Okay, and inside we can see you've got the polystyrene casing with the Hunter's logo embossed there. And he has these cool Velcro straps that make these feel really important, which I really like that packaging feature from Blitzway. It does make it feel just a little bit more premium, and it beats the life out of the usual boxes you get from Hot Toys and people like that. Noisy as well. Please don't let anything fall out. Please don't let anything fall out. Apart from all the silica gels that they normally stuff in there. There we go. Oh yeah, this is looking pretty cool. Got the base there. We have the actual figure there. Got some sort of like cyborg thing he carries around. That's probably a weapon or part of a weapon or a gun. And then we have his massive sniper rifle. This thing is huge. I've actually got one of these already that I bought off eBay. Well, hopefully he's got the other gun in there. It'd be pretty miffed if he doesn't have that gun. Whew, got a bit nervous there. I actually thought there was a lot of missing pieces, but this part slides out the back here. Put it away, and then we get all the extra items in here, including all the accessories, the armor, the extra gun, thank God, the beads. Yeah, this is looking really good. Okay, let's get it all out here, shall we? And here he is just straight out of the box, and I have to say, if you bought this for retail price, you got a lot of bang for your buck, because it is absolutely astounding the sheer amount of stuff they have put into this package. What we're going to do now is we're just going to have a quick look at all the accessories, all the bits and bobs. Then we're going to have a look at the figure, then we're going to dress it up, make sure it's all fully kitted out, and then we're just going to get my final thoughts. Here's that sniper rifle I was telling you about. This thing is insanely detailed. The sheer amount of work that went into this is pretty amazing. Absolutely love these sort of real bits of fabric they've put onto the actual barrel here. It's all dark and dingy around here, all the dirt, the striations, paint chips around the handle. They've actually done it a bit more, which is really sort of one of those nice details you wouldn't expect. And then we come in, we see all these little wires. This is a little loose actually. I might have to pop this back in somehow. But yeah, this is going to have to go back in, but I think it does fit in quite nicely. And then there's all these tubes and wires and everything here. And this bit sticks down the back to extend. The clip does come out, although however it's hollow here, so you would have thought it goes in like that, but it is very loose when you do that. You can jam it right up in there, but it does fall out, and that seems to be the case with all of them. So if you put it in sideways like that, it doesn't fall out as much. And he's got the stabilizing legs here for when he's actually going into sniper mode. The barrel's got burn marks on it, and it's got scratches and damage all the way along it. This is just such a cool piece. Next up, it comes with a pistol holster, and this is one of the minor little bugbears I've got with this is the use of pleather. We all know it doesn't last very long, so yeah, it is a bit of a shame, but it is a very nice looking one. It's very well designed. I love these straps here. They've even given him this sort of strap guard here that he can actually put on to make it more comfortable. They didn't have to do that, but it's a really nice detail. Or little buckles and stuff. It's what I really like about 6 scale. They really do go into detail. And he also comes with a little 6-shooter. The gun barrel does push out and can revolve. I really like all the dirt and the damage in there. Unlike the Berbercat one, the handle isn't sticky from the glue. Lots of paint rub up there. Paint rub on the small little cocking handle thing there. I don't know what that's called. And even more weathering on the trigger, showing that he does actually use this. Really nice detail. It does fit into the holster really nice, and the clasp can close. Adding on to the gun, he does actually come with 2 extra pieces. He comes with this sort of shooting scope. Kind of open up. I'm a bit disappointed that yeah, they could have put a little clear lens in there or something to really make it stand out. A little bit of a shame, but not that big a deal. I really love the way that Bhead has done this sort of red, blue and yellow sort of accents throughout all the accessories. Even on Berbercat he did the same thing, and they all sort of kind of work together and they look really nice. We can then get this on here. We can slide it on like so, push it back. It's quite stiff to get on. It's going to be hard to get that off now, but also it comes with this little wire here. Need to be careful with that because that could snap. Might warm that up. And then I can push it back and it will fit into this slot there. Voila. Then it comes with this really cool sort of blade piece. And look at that. Very industrial. Looks like it was from like a buzzsaw or something, and he sort of cut it off and sort of modded it so it could fit onto the gun. And then this part goes onto the bottom of the handle, and this bit goes onto the bottom of the barrel. So it all slides on. You've got to be very careful. You've got to get it just right. Come on, get on there. There you go. That's pretty much how I'm going to keep this gun, because it does make it very unique. It's a really nice shoulder pad. Not sure how this is going to fit on properly just yet. Looks like there's a little hook in there to strap it onto something else. I'm going to read the instructions to find out. Look how dirty and dingy that is. Ooh. All the specks, mud, and that little spray painted skull. Little red thing there. This is a little cap that he comes with. This is going to go on his head. He usually wears it when he's actually wearing the mask as well, which is how I'm probably going to pose him. There is some little pleather accents in there. Again, a bit of a shame, but I do love the weathering and these little ear bits here. Super fine stitching. Really nice little bit of weathering just here. Torn fabric. Yeah, it's going to look great. Next up is the torso armor, and this again, I'm going to use that word, the weathering is phenomenal on this. Look at that canister. Oh, it's filthy. And again, those red, yellow and sort of minty green accents work really well together. They make other bits stand out. I have that little nozzle handle thing there, and the little warning stickers. All this stuff is hazardous, probably shouldn't be carrying it around. Cool little straps to go over his shoulder. They feel quite stable, very nicely dirtied up. And he also comes with this weird looking grenade. The same that Berbercat comes with, or the same style that Berbercat comes with, but it's a little different. Filth. He also comes with this canvas belt, very dirty, lots of mud. And these little bits pop up. So then you can actually put actual clips in there. So if you have stuff from your collection, like magazines and things like that from guns, you actually slot them in here and you can carry them around. So it's very nice if you want to customize this a little bit. Yeah, you have the option. And next up I did my two favorite pieces from this, which is the gas mask. Look at that thing. It's very cool, but also quite creepy looking, very post-apocalyptic. Look at that tubing, again with those red and yellow accents going through it, all those rivets. This is gonna look mad, and it's gonna make this thing stand out, I think. And again, the oxygen hose or whatever it is malleable and can be posed around, which is awesome. I'm not a big fan of the pleather straps again. I reckon they'd fade in time, but yeah, it is what it is, I'm afraid. God, I love the paintwork on this. And last but not least, we get his little sort of fembot cyborg sort of damaged thing that he carries around. It looks like he carries it around for spare parts. It's very sort of creepy looking, isn't it? But also very cool. Look at all these details on the back. Again, the red, yellow and green helps to differentiate all the different parts and make it look very stylistic. See the back of her head here with the brain, which is very cool. Then you've got all these bits in here around the torso. They're supposed to make it look more organic, but obviously it's not. They're just tubes from like a machine. Got all damage around here by the legs. So it looks like he's going to carry this around. It's either going to be a companion for him, or it's just for spare parts in case he needs anything for his guns or what have you. I mean, it tells a story all on its own, doesn't it? I mean, I want to know more about this now. What a great looking accessory, eh? And the really cool thing about these figures is you can make up your own story. Creepy sort of eye sort of bugging out there, and these wires sticking out. And he also comes with these beads, which seem to be a running theme throughout all these figures. Are these very large oversized beads that him and Berbercat wear, and I'm pretty sure Dr. BB's going to wear as well. Very nice, on a nice elastic. It's got some lovely little rings in between, and they actually sound and feel metal. And it actually does actually feel like a real necklace. You could actually put this on your wrist if it's small enough. And I'm all about that bass. About that bass, no treble. Look at this thing, it's amazing. I really like this plaque here. I think it's very effective. All these little bits of paint chipping, and it's all worn away here at the top. And we can't see all these dirty wires, lightly weathered. Really love all this rust sort of running through it, like it's been rust and water have run through, and this is what's settled. And it's all settled inside these little holes here. There's this whole entire bit sticking up out of the ground. And these tubes and pipes. Turn it around the back. Still very nice. I think I've still got some bits of polystyrene stuck to it. Whoops. But it's quite heavy base as well. It's probably one of the nicest bases I've seen, and it's a little bit wider than Berbercat's, but it's not as tall. Put simply, these are some of the most original bases I have ever seen any mass-produced 1/6 scale figure come with, and I love them. Okay, so that's all the accessories he comes with, and you can obviously see that the one problem I have is that he doesn't come with any extra hands. He only comes with the two attached to the body, which is a shame, because I would have liked to been able to get different posable hands for the figure. Okay, finally we get to look at the figure, and you can see that head sculpt. It's very stylistic, slightly cartoonish. Really like that earring and the earlobe there. Very straight painted as well. Really like the glossiness of the eyes, and these plasters really add some character to the design. He's got very big pouty lips, hasn't he? He's got very strong cheekbones. You can see just there he's actually been weathered with some dirt, and my only gripe really is that the hair looks a little bit, I don't know, plasticky, a bit glossy. Maybe it's just because it's greasy, but it's still a very cool design. Overall I really like it. One of the downsides is that they did not matte the neck, so it looks very glossy and plastic, but hopefully the clothes hide the majority of that neck. Speaking of clothes, we can come down, we can see this hoodie is very well stitched. It feels like a real hoodie. It's very strange, I know. They've weathered the edges of it just here, and the hood can go on his head, just like so, if you really want. Just have him. He looks like a really moody teenager, doesn't he? You get me, fam. I really like all the light weathering they've done to the edges. It's very dirty, looks very worn and lived in. Coming down to the coat, this is a very impressive 1/6 scale piece of clothing. It's quite thin considering. Really like this sort of red rag that he's got tied around his arm. It looks very sort of like resistance-y, you know, like in Terminator Salvation, that kind of thing. You can see there's actually some dirt marks and paint splodges all up inside the coat. We can see on the cuffs here, I took one of the hands off so you can see, frayed, matted. It really does look like a lived-in coat. And the fur on the hood is really weathered. It's a little bit stiff from the fabric paint, but it's not too bad. It's still quite fluffy. And that can go over his head. And they've even stitched in the main loop on the top of this coat. Only criticism I've got is that maybe it's a little bit too puffy, but it's a minor criticism. Okay, coming down to the belt, you can see he's got these massive pouches on. Not entirely sure what's supposed to be in there, but looks cool anyway. He's got his little pouch sort of dangling from it there. Sort of canvas belt, and there's this rope loop here which will probably help you tie in that cyborg to his waist. You can see these really cool sort of 3/4 length combat trousers he's got on. They've even managed to put a handkerchief inside one of the pockets here, just sticking out. But you can see it's not just like a black dry brush over the top to make it look dirty. They've even used browns and even some light creams in there to highlight some of the different areas. And those knee pads, filthy. And then they've weathered his shins, although they still look a little bit shiny to me, but you know. And then he's got some really awesome looking made sort of stitched together socks that he possibly made himself. Now the shoes look nice, but they are a little bit disappointing in detail. Not much, but a little bit. Really nice treads on the bottom. And they spin all the way round. However, there's not, if any, ankle pivot, which is a shame. But it definitely means you can stand quite firmly. However, it would have been nice to be able to get some ankle pivot for posing options. Okay, let's get this guy fully kitted up. When I said that I got scalped, it wasn't entirely accurate, because what I really got was fucked. When I was starting to put all the bits on this guy, I realised that there were parts missing. And not only were there parts missing, but there was slightly damaged pieces as well. And that started a big dispute with the eBay seller for about 2-3 weeks. One of the main issues I had was that the backpack wasn't included in the box. And I don't know why that really bugged me, but it really irked me, because I bought this guy new, unopened, and the seller had really good feedback for a very long time. I was reasonably confident. I mean, you can't be super confident. They tend to be, you know, a little bit more relaxed in what the adverts say on their eBay stores. So when I found out that this guy actually had the backpack missing, and he also had the gun with a slightly damaged piece here, this has actually fallen off the gun, and the actual weapons cartridge didn't have the bullets inside, that kind of irked me. You know, these types of things do. When you advertise as new and unopened, you start a dispute with the seller and you just say, look, you sold this as completely new. I wouldn't have even minded if it was complete. You know, it wouldn't have bothered me too much that it had been opened before, as long as everything was there and everything was fine. So I started the dispute. There was a good few weeks there. One of the main issues I had was that the backpack wasn't included, and there isn't anybody on eBay selling this stuff. It's not even that old a figure, but either there was such a low run that any sort of bits or parts of it, whenever they're parted out, just go very quickly. I don't know. Either way, it was damn near impossible for me to source the backpack. So basically, when I emailed him and told him there was missing parts and there was damage, he then came back saying, hey, I'm an honest seller. And I'm like, whoa, that's red flag right there. You never open up your statement with, hey, I'm an honest seller. If you're honest, you know, you say, oh, Jesus, I didn't realize, because, you know, I'm an honest guy, you know, I thought it was all there. But, you know, he straight up goes into, hey, I'm an honest seller. Here's the truth of what really happened. I had a new and unopened version. However, in my shop, I didn't realize that my colleague had sold said item to another person. I then went out of my way to come and source a figure for you so that I could send to you, like he was doing me a big massive favour. Wow, thank you very much. So then apparently he goes to a local market and he buys the figure. He was assured it was fully complete and it was unopened. Long story short, the guy claims he opened up the package. Well, then now it's no longer unopened. And he even claims that him and his friend took the backpack out of the packaging, claimed what a nice backpack this is. Oh, look at this backpack. Isn't this such a nice backpack? And then he claims that he definitely put it back inside the box and sent it to me. Well, that was complete and utter fabrication. Don't believe it. Don't believe it for a second. What I believe really happened was, this is one of those sellers that, you know, advertises a lot of stuff. And when they actually get a purchase, they then go out into the local markets and they try and pick these items up. It is opened, it's clearly secondhand because there was actually items on the figure that shouldn't be on the figure to begin with, because they're supposed to be separate in the box when they first come to you. So it's probably been on display as well. And then I said to him, look, the only way I'm going to keep this thing is if I can get a complete figure. Like that is the only way I'm going to keep this thing. So in the end, I think he was offering me a different backpack and I think $50 refund. So then I had to go onto eBay. And yeah, there are none available. There's no parts for this guy available. The only thing that I could find was one of these guns. Now I've got a second gun here because I bought one a while ago because I actually just liked the design and I wanted it to pose with other figures. I then hit up the seller who was selling another one of these on eBay and I said, hey man, I noticed you got the gun. Any chance you've got any of the other parts to this figure? And I believe it was Gangsters Kingdoms Parts UK, a guy called Matt. And what an absolute stunning eBay seller that was. He's the exact opposite of the guy who sold me this figure to begin with. He was amazing. He was like, hey man, I don't know, but I am sure I had different bits of it. I will go look for you. And it took about 3 or 4 days. But you know, he was keeping me abreast of the situation. He was like, okay, I've gone and looked here. I can't find it. I'll let you know tomorrow. I'm going to go check here. I have these things. You know, he actually was telling me his thought process for the whole thing. Just keeping me abreast. I mean, the whole time I was like, oh God, please, please, please have some parts. Please tell me you've got the backpack. And in the end, it turned out he had just not looked in the box properly or something. He was like, oh man, yeah, I thought I'd lost them and I thought we weren't going to get here. But he goes, it turns out I actually found it in the box. I just wasn't looking properly. But he found the backpack and I was like, yes. So when he put it up for sale, it was up for 5 seconds and then it was gone. I was just like, I'm having it. I need that backpack. The seller in China just was of no use to me whatsoever. So anyway, I managed to get the backpack, and while I was there, I picked up some extra bits, including some extra beads. I got the gas mask. I got another stand because I just love this stand. It's awesome. And you know, at some point, I'm planning to do my own version of a hunter through kit bashing and, you know, customizing and things like that. But anyway, long story short, he is now complete. I have closed the dispute with the seller. I think I managed to get $70 back. I didn't get any extra parts. I didn't want the other backpacks. I just wanted the backpack he came with. But now he comes with it. So without further ado, this is him all fully kitted out and I'm just so glad I got him. Oh, one caveat. While I was putting all this stuff on, yeah, it took even longer to put this guy together, because while I was putting this guy together, oh God, I was playing around and I moved the arms to the back to put the coat on and I damn near snapped that arm off. It really broke my heart. So again, not only had I managed to source all the parts in the end, but I then broke the damn figure. So this has been nothing but heartache to me since I got it. However, now that it's fully complete, I am super happy. Now what I had to do was I had to go online and get a Blitzway Hannibal Lecter body, because it was the exact same body, however it is a slightly different skin tone. This is the body here and this is the skin tone for the arm, and you can see it's slightly different. However, I managed to detach the arm. You can see where I snapped it here, just there, and I tried to fix it, but unfortunately I just wasn't super confident with it, you know. I could have glued this in place and it could have worked, you know, reasonably fine. And I couldn't do that when I knew that there was a broken arm on there. So yeah, I swapped the arms out, and this guy's got the broken arm. But you know, I've got plenty of spare body parts if I need more body parts for this guy. Yeah, it is a different skin tone, but this guy is fully clothed up. You're never going to see it. But yeah, finally, this guy is totally complete. And yeah, wow, what an amazing, gorgeous looking piece. It looks and feels like a really high-end custom, but it's actually a mass-produced figure by the premier Korean 1/6 scale figure company Blitzway. I'm going to try and turn this guy around. I'm going to be a bit gentle because I don't want to break it, but we're going to get a good look at that backpack finally, because you didn't get to see that when I was doing all the unboxing and everything. And look how battered and beaten and worn this thing is. It's all the edges, and I've stuffed it full of padding just so it all sort of puffs out a little bit. And he's got his little droid hanging off his hip here. I've glued that back on because yeah, that was another piece that sort of came off. It was loose because it had come unglued, so I just glued that on. Again, another small defect with the figure. Again, I wouldn't have been too bothered if they had actually told the truth to me, but when people lie to you, you know, it can bug you a little bit. It definitely bugs me anyway. But he is completely done now. And just in case you were wondering, this is what the magazine should look like. That bullet should be in there, but my one from the seller came with it missing. So that's just the way it is, I'm afraid. But you know, he is now complete, and I am so relieved. I'm just really happy that I've got him. I think I've done a reasonably good job of saving this. I could have just, you know, saved myself a lot of heartache by telling the guy, take it back, I don't want it, give me a refund. But the truth is, these are hard to come by. They really are. It's highly unlikely that I'm going to get one that is absolutely perfect, especially if I'm hunting around on the Chinese eBay sites. If we come in close, we can see through the lens, we can just about make out his eye, which is marginally creepy and very, very cool. I'm just going to swing this camera down, and this is it really, guys. I mean, I'm just showing off the figure yet again. This is pretty much how I'm going to pose him. Just a quick note, I tried to put this into here, but it doesn't fully work properly. I don't know what's wrong, but maybe they didn't draw the hole out properly or whatever. It's a minor flaw, it's not a big deal. And after all the dramas, all the trials and tribulations, he is now fully in the collection. And I've got Steampunk Red Sonja's base as a sort of placeholder for Dr. BB, who's going to go there. And once all three of them are together, they're going to look fantastic. I only wish I actually had a sort of like one of the Behead customs from years ago that he made. That would be outstanding. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. If you could do me a favour now, if you get the fuck out of my cave, I'm going to start work on that custom hunter. Take care guys. Bye bye.